Welcome to my garden. Today we'll take a look at the tomato plants growing on my terrace. I've got 7 plants in total. All but one are growing in what's called an earth bucket. An earth bucket is basically 2 buckets, one inside the other. The bottom bucket contains water, and the top bucket contains potting mix. There's kind of a mesh at the bottom of the top bucket so that the water can be absorbed. All water gets absorbed from the bottom bucket into the top. The top bucket never gets watered directly. As you see, there's a tube going straight through the top bucket into the bottom. That's how I fill the bottom bucket, and then, as I mentioned, all the water gets absorbed through there. The top bucket is covered with plastic also. This prevents water from seeping into the top. It also prevents bugs and weeds from growing. The first plant I have is what I call a red ping pong. It's a ping pong sized red tomato that I got from a CSA last summer. I don't know what the variety is exactly, but I know that it was about that size and very sweet, certainly worth growing. I grew that from seed. The next plants were bought at the Union Square Green Market. This giant over here, it's called the Hillbilly Flame. A neighbor got this for me after reading the description of very sweet red and orange striped fruit. It said that the fruit grew to be 1 to 2 pounds each. I already have a few, we can probably see. A handful of fruits are growing over here, so I expect that we'll be eating tomatoes in the relatively near future. The next is a brandywine, also a large tomato. I'm wondering about this one because I know that these tomatoes in particular are prone to cracking and dripping, so I'm not sure how that will fare. The next I'm very optimistic about. This is a plum lemon. It grows kind of plum tomatoes, yellow plum tomatoes, and it is flowering prolifically. I therefore expect that this may indeed be the year that I create something I've long wanted to make, which is a yellow lasagna. The next few plants are things that I've grown from seed. The one to the right is something I got from a farmer's market. It was like a small brandywine. I don't know if it really is a brandywine. I kind of hope that it's not as big or drippy as a traditional brandywine, but we'll see. And the next two are some kind of yellow cherry tomatoes that I suppose I also got from a green market, and they were very sweet and certainly worth growing. Finally, last week I picked up a Cherokee Purple. I had one of these last year and it did not grow very well. When I saw it last week at the green market, I figured, well, I'll give it a shot. I'm doing something different this year. I'm trying to simulate the wicking system that's in use with the earth buckets. What I have is a bucket of water next to it and a cloth going from the water into the plant. The idea is that the moisture from the cloth will keep the potting mix moist enough that I don't have to water the plant from the top. That will reduce the amount of water I have to give the plants and prevent them from looking so thirsty and pathetic every morning. If this is successful, I will cover this plant to avoid weeds and bugs as the others are covered. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the garden, and hopefully in my next video will be all about harvesting tomatoes and not about the damage inflicted by caterpillars.